Welcome back. Now we're going to go over all the NFL action from Week 8. This is a wacky week of football in Week 8 of the NFL. You already know that actually, I didn't get to mention. Oh, yeah, I did. You already know that the Atlanta Falcons beat the Carolina Panthers at Bank of America Stadium 25-17. And Todd Gurley grounded out 46 yards rushing and a touchdown. Julio Jones 137 yards receiving against a banged-up Panthers secondary. And the Falcons defense limited the Panthers to 2 of 10 on third down conversions to improve to 2-1 since Morris replaced Dan Quinn as the head coach. So this was Atlanta took advantage of all the Panthers' mistakes in that game. So Falcons get their second win of the season. The Minnesota Vikings upset the Green Bay Packers 28-22 at legendary Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Boy, this was one game that was a surprise, I have to admit. And normally I give them to the Packers, but in this case, I have to give them to the Vikings. Kirk Cousins, 11 of 14 carries and attempts, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Dalvin Cook, 122 attempts, 652 yards, 10 touchdowns in this game. Boy, he had one heck of a day. And also in the so it's Kirk Cousins and Dalvin Cook that get the game balls. So Minnesota goes to 2-5. The Packers fall to 5-2. The Cincinnati Bengals upset the Tennessee Titans at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati on their home turf, 31-20. And this was another surprise upset. And I got to give the game balls to Joe Burrow. I have to give it to him. Giovanni Bernard, I got to give one to him as well. And I think it's Tyler Boyd. I have to give one to him as well. They get the game balls for that one. The defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs all over the New York Jets 35-9 at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. And I'm not even going to talk about the Jets because they have been a doormat for every team so far this season. And they are now 0-8 at the halfway point of the season. So we know the Jets are not going to the playoffs. Unless they would win out, which is highly unlikely. And that wouldn't even put them at 10 wins. But boy, the Chiefs just manhandled the Chiefs. And for game balls, I got to give the game balls to Patrick Mahomes, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and Tyreek Hill in that one. The Pittsburgh Steelers upset the Baltimore Ravens to remain undefeated and go to 7-0, and have and Ravens fall to 5-2, and it was 28-24 Steelers over the Ravens at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. Boy, I thought the Ravens would beat them, but I thought wrong. So I gotta give it to Ben Roethlisberger. The game boss Ben Roethlisberger, James Conner, and Eric Ebron. I gotta give it to him. They get the game balls, and Pittsburgh just pulled away in I believe in the fourth quarter. the Miami Dolphins were upset the LA Rams. A surprise one, as the Rams did not look good at all in this one, 28-17 at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. This was one of those games where LA just came into Miami and just did not have it in them. So I got to give the game balls to, well, first Devontae Parker, 30 receptions, 365 yards, 7 yards, 3 touchdowns. Their quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa, 102 yards, 1 touchdown, and 12 of 22 carries and attempts, which was 93 yards. And Myles Gaskin, 100 attempts and 387 yards, 2 touchdowns. And so it was 18 attempts, 147 yards, 1 touchdown, excuse me. But yeah, things did not bode well for the Los Angeles Rams yesterday. The New Orleans Saints beat the Chicago Bears by 2 at Soldier Field. Actually, no, excuse me, take that back. I said the wrong one. I am so sorry. The Chicago Bears, excuse me, they upset the New Orleans Saints in overtime with a game-winning field goal, 28-26, or 26-23, excuse me. Well, yeah, I did it again. I'm sorry, I made a mistake. It was the New Orleans Saints that did beat the Chicago Bears in overtime. I take that back. 26-23 at Soldier Field in Chicago. And this is what the Bears thought they had it, but New Orleans got it in overtime. But the Bears did tie it to go into overtime. And I got to give the game balls to Drew Brees and Alvin Kamara. I got to give it to them. The Buffalo Bills beat the New England Patriots by a field goal, 24-21 at Ralph Wilson Stadium in Buffalo, New York. And this is one of those games where the New England, they weren't able to get over that hurdle to get the win. So I got to give the game balls to Josh Allen, 11 carries of 18 carries and attempts, 154 yards, 1 interception. Zach Moss, 43 attempts, 186 yards, 2 touchdowns. And I got to give it to Stephon Diggs. 54 receptions, 695 yards, 3 touchdowns. Well, 6 receptions, excuse me. And boy, this was one of those games where Buffalo has been just on a roll. The Indianapolis Colts were all over the Lions by 20 points, 41-21 at Ford Field in Detroit. But the Lions just they just did not look good in this one. But they scored 21 points, but they weren't able to get over that hurdle. I have to give the game ball to Phil Rivers. 23 of 33 carries and attempts, 262 yards, 3 touchdowns. Jordan Wilkins, 89 yards, 20 attempts, 1 touchdown, and Nyheim Hines, excuse me. 4 receptions, 113 yards. Now, you already know the Browns beat the Raiders 16-6. I already gave the game balls on that one. The Denver Broncos beat the LA Chargers by 1 on their home field, Sports Authority Field in Denver, 31-30. And this is one of those games. The Chargers, I thought were going to get it, and they just they let it slip. They had it and they let it slip away. So I have to give the game balls to Justin Herbert. 18 of 29 of 30 carries and attempts, 278 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Justin Jackson. 17 carries and attempts, 89 yards, and Mike Williams, 5 receptions, 98 yards, 1 touchdown. And Sunday night football game. Last night, the Seattle Seahawks beat the San Francisco 49ers by 10, 37 to, actually, it was a late game. Excuse me. That was not Sunday night game. That was a late game. 37-27 late in the afternoon yesterday. Excuse me. This was one. And I was glad that the Seahawks were glad to bounce back from. Russell Wilson gets a game ball. 27 of 37 carries and attempts, 261 yards, 4 touchdowns. DK Metcalf, 12 receptions, 161 yards, 2 touchdowns. And DJ Dallas, 18 attempts, 41 yards, 1 touchdown. Now the Sunday night game. The Dallas Cowboys, just got manhandled by the Eagles. They beat Dallas 23-9 at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And Dallas just did not look good from the get-go. And they've been hurting without not only Dak Prescott, but without Andy Dalton. So I got to give the game balls to the Eagles, Carson Wentz. 15 of 27 carries and attempts, 123 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Boston Scott, 15 attempts, 70 yards, didn't score a touchdown. And Travis Fulgham, 6 receptions, 78 yards, 1 touchdown. And a game that just ended moments ago. Tonight's Monday night game. And between the between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the New York Giants. And it was week 8 of Monday Night Football, and I hope you were ready for the football. It was a great NFC matchup as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers beat the New York Giants 25-17 at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New York. It was a one-possession game separating both teams. The Daniel Jones allowed Tom Brady to rally from behind and from a 14-3 deficit to claim the victory over the Giants. Brady wasn't as overly sharp as himself, but the second half turnovers from Jones were critical for the Giants. The Giants had a good-sized lead, and they let it slip away. So the Bucs get the win in this one. Tom Brady, game balls, Tom Brady, 28 of 40 carries and attempts, 179 yards, 2 touchdowns. Leonard Ferrante, 15 carries, 52 yards, no touchdown, no interception. Mike Evans, 5 receptions, 55 yards, 1 touchdown. And Ron Gronkowski, 4 receptions, 41 yards, 1 touchdown. And I went 7-7 on my picks. My brother-in-law won, being 8-6. That's going to wrap it up for the Scott Sports 101 Browns early, late game, Sunday Night Football post-game show, Monday Night Football post-game show. 3, 2, 1, I'm done.